It's all good.
Oh,
We're so good. It's scary. I did. I took it. It was perfect. You couldn't have asked for a better picture. So now we are live as we speak. So I have copied, so I'm just writing, what I'm doing now is I'm going to send an email to all the other folks just in case they can't see. So this is like a double, and they're all called live feed. And I'm sending that off. Ah, shoot. Live, come on. Oh, darn. Okay. Bottom line is, I had a backup so that I could do the double live feed, so now your mom and dad won't see it right off the second. So we'll get to it. But welcome everybody. Those of you on the live feed, as Aiden kind of gets the computer up working again. I think it just went to sleep. It's a funny computer that way. But I already did little intros. But Brian is Mr. Van Garderen. Brian will be replacing myself in the fall, so it's kind of nice that he can kind of put some faces to names. There is another woman coming in, Kim Richards, and she comes to us from Vancouver, and she's been a teacher but done work 0+. And so she, you'll meet another woman in the fall, and then but Mrs. Taylor is still here. So she's the consistent body here, but we only have her for another year. One of the other gals on the live feed, we're hoping, Charlene, that you're watching, because she's becoming a teacher and will become a teacher of the deaf, and she is hard of hearing herself. So she is from Abbotsford, was a student like yourselves, and went back to school, and is now becoming a teacher of the deaf. So just put that little thought in the back of your heads. Now, before I give Aiden the floor, I'll let him come over this way so the folks on the live feed can see Aiden. This young man, and Chloe, I was picking her up. She's also a grade 12 student, and there was a mix-up, and she's not here. But I want to acknowledge these two young, fine individuals. Aiden has received over $6,000 in scholarships to go towards his education. So when he speaks about the scholarships, he knows what he's speaking about. Chloe was the same. She got over $4,000 in scholarships. And part of it was just some of the background things that they were doing, writing good scholarship letters, good scholarship essays. So that's why you should always be listening to your teachers, both your hard of hearing teachers and your classroom teachers, so you become a good writer. Now Aiden, he may speak to that himself, but he's going off to the University of Ottawa. Does anybody know where Ottawa is? You know where that is? Capital City, Canada. A+ for this young man. But so he's heading off there. Chloe is heading off to U of the University of Fraser Valley in health sciences, and you are doing?
Political science and business.
Yeah, so there we go. Now, again, I think here I was just wanting to, this is new to us, this live streaming, but if it works, there was a great workshop up in Cranbrook where one of an educational audiologist came in, Dave Gordy, and he did a big talk on, all the, hearing aids and FM systems and all the assisted listening devices. But Cranbrook's a bit far for us to go. I think it would take us the entire day to drive there. So this live feed, if we can get something like this going more, one of the other folks on the live feed, Bowen Tang, is a teacher in Burnaby, and he and his partner, Joy, run peer support. You might see it every once in a while, the peer support for, and again, it's the distance. Do you drive? Burnaby's only an hour, but it's an hour there and an hour back. It's safe for them. We invited them all to come here tonight, but this has made it easier to do a live feed. So we'll see how this all works. And so we'll hope to do it. All I've done now is I've got my iPad and the YouTube app. That's all I need, and a nice stand to make it easier. So that's all I've needed to do this live feed. So I'm hoping those of you guys listening, you kind of go, oh, well, if Joe can do it, I can do it. So it's easy peasy. While you're watching the live stream, I'm hoping some of the videos kind of work in, but so I think we'll send you some of the links, like the Count Me In, and then maybe your backup video. And, but I'm thinking, some of you know little bits about Aiden, but I think you'll find out a little bit more. And so with no further ado, Mr. Aiden Schweinmetz. And we talked about maybe if you went over on this side, I think that would be easier for you. Oh, and I must switch over the mic. So, there we roll. And I'm gonna try sending that relink again.
Hello everyone, so I am Aiden Schweinmetz. Today I'm going to be talking about a bunch of different things. Some to do with hard of hearing, especially at the younger ages, ways to get involved, scholarship tips, an event I did, and even more. So we're going to start out with some fun videos of when I was...
Oh, I think our clicker is re-clicking too much.
Yeah. So
Now, good on Aiden for letting us show this one. This was grade 5. Look
a
at
little
that.
embarrassing.
But Mrs. Taylor took this one in when Aiden was in grade 5. We won't show the whole thing, but yeah. So you can see there, grade 5, getting his public speaking going. Oh, and I can't get the other live feed to roll, so we'll go without. Yeah. So you can head on to the next one then. So you get the gist here. So, A, don't be shy. Everything is so valuable. What I liked about this one here, oh, actually, listen to me just jumping right in. I'm sorry, Aiden. You go.
This one is when I went for valedictorian. This is a speech I started out with to get votes.
Oh, I think because you hit this and
Including sports. Oh, sorry. I should probably get out of here. On that note, I've been part of many aspects of school, including sports tournaments, honors classes, planning leadership events, including Rock Night Strong, which saw hundreds of members in the community come out. But it's about us and all of our members, including Finnegan's dress-up days, Foreigners' jokes, our core fundraising planning, and of course, Miss Campbell's thousands of texts to us. I want the speech to represent all of us, and I want to hear from you. Could that have been you remembered a math test? Maybe you remembered a certain teacher, maybe a certain friend group, maybe even something that happened outside school. But at the grad class, we are pretty amazing. We've done so many things, and I am proud of what we can become. Remember to maintain that line of pride, and from all the times we've already had, to the future, let's keep having many fun times.
you should have done a back flip off of that deck, eh?
Yeah. Ooh.
So maybe now this I think is in good shape so high.
Sorry, I should probably get out of here. On that note. So yeah, for valedictorian, I ended up, I think getting second place in the voting, unfortunately. It was really tight though, but the one who did win, she had a really good speech.
But your point there on
how like using like resources and how much energy, like making videos are fun, and it's about like the voice you make for yourself and what others will see of you. So that kind of goes with advocating for yourself, because even at a young age, for the FM, I always felt like I wanted to be the one to talk to the teachers. So a lot of times at a younger age, teachers think that you should sit near the front, and always at the front. And I always sat at the front. But then in grade 4, I didn't want to sit in the front anymore. So I decided to make a change, and I went up to my teacher, Mrs. Bevan, and I asked her, can I not sit at the front? Or maybe sit in like the middle of the class. And she listened to me and moved me the next day. So I just, like one big thing is, your parents can talk to you, then do it for you, but a teacher's gonna have a lot more, she's gonna have a lot more faith in you when you do it yourself, and there's a better chance you're gonna get moved. So that's a big thing, talk to your teachers. And then as soon as I started getting older, I kind of wanted to put more out there, so I thought mentoring hard of hearing students by grade 7, 8, 9. I tried to be part of a lot of the events, kind of advocating. I started doing a little bit of classroom sessions, talking to more students, kind of seeing where other students' hearing loss is how it's worse than mine, or the same, or how everyone goes through their different struggles, and seeing how I could help through that.
So your name's on that list, Tarshan, right? And I know Liam's been talking a little bit about that already, eh? You're gonna help out some of the other younger kids in your school already? Great.
Yeah, awesome. So, and then when it comes to scholarships, the big thing I would say is don't worry about them right now, but what you should do is get involved. One, I know a lot of people would say, if you want to be in the Olympics, you want to be the top student, you got to focus on that one sport. But I actually just watched a video a couple days ago, and a lot of top athletes, a lot of top professions, they either did multiple different subjects or multiple different sports, because that's how you learn more about teamwork, involvement, and you get a much more you get a bigger sense of the whole gist of maybe your community and different opportunities that you might actually like more. So in scholarships, there are those scholarships for the top academics, there are those scholarships for the top athletes, but over 60% of scholarships are for students who have been an all-around student, have been in everything from community service, sports, academics, and much more. Like, could that have been volunteering and doing an event? Could that have been doing a dance routine? There's so many different things that people will look at that you just wouldn't think they'd look at. And when you're applying for scholarships, don't go crazy and apply for every single one. Look for the ones that really think that you have a chance at and that really speak to you. Because when you read that criteria and you read the first 3, and you're like, that's me, those are the ones you apply for.
And we had put this here, go to the webpage to check out the scholarships. So Aiden will send out a page later on with those web pages on, so we'll send that out to everyone. Because I mean, those of you that are here are quite young. Some of the kids watching on live feed are ready to be starting to think about this. Like just as you said, ask for reference in grade 11. Well, it's a few years before you're grade 11, but you never know. You're there before you know it.
Actually, speaking of this, on this, because I did a lot of the clubs, like the Key Club, the leadership, the school sports, getting myself into things like Wee Days, and I actually just got told by a teacher, like, because I have to miss this class a lot, and he's like, this is awesome. Every time you miss a class, I know why you're missing it. It's for good reasons. You're in the community. And then he also kind of went on. He's like, university's gonna have to change. You want to focus on one thing, but this is your time. The point was, high school, middle school is your time to try everything. Because once you're older, you kind of have to start focusing on 1, 2, or 3 things. So now we're getting to an event I did in February that I planned for about 6-7 months, and I really loved the event. So it was called Rockin' and Be Strong, with the theme of getting everyone in the community together to kind of celebrate our accomplishments as a city, but also understand what we've been going through as a city. So some of the highlights of the event, we had an internationally recognized star, Richard Tickleman. We had a top local musician, Jada Klein. We had a huge silent auction. We had more local singers. We had a lot of awesome organizations and businesses help support it. And here, it was in support of
the Western Institute for Deaf and Hard of Hearing, the Abbotsford Community Foundation for John Davidson, who was a fallen cop of our city.
Can you give that a shake? Somehow your sound field is cutting out. Yeah.
And then Letitia Reimer's well in Ethiopia, which she was a victim of a tragedy at one of our schools. And that was a big thing. Like, I wanted to support something I'm into, is the hearing loss, and through what I've done for mentoring. But I also wanted to speak to everyone in my city so that everyone felt like they had a part of their heart towards the event.
Yeah, and I jumped ahead so you could see the faces there. So if I go back a little bit, no, I think you kind of covered it all, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go.
And here were some of our, we had over 30 sponsors, but here were some of our big ones. Globe Printers did all the ads for us. Staples, Key Club, Canadian Western Bank, Envision, CIDC, Porsche, some other big ones, Tim Hortons, Starbucks, a lot of different fast food chains, a couple clothes places. So that was really good. Here's some fun pictures of the silent auction. That was the one big thing, like a lot of people were saying, silent auction is going to be a lot of work. It is a lot of work, but that was what made it fun. I would spend a couple hours a day going out, finding businesses, negotiating around, because the one big thing is you can't do everything on your own. So I had to find each school and get different people to do different things that was their talent. So like for the website, I found someone who's a big talent with computers. I'm like, how would I do the website? I find people who are very good with personable skills. I asked them to do some of the sponsors. Find people who are better with just in the backstage setting up. Got them to come to the event with over 40 sponsors. Volunteers, and they loved doing it. And it was just awesome how every school wanted to be a part of it. They were selling tickets, and that was one big thing that was a success, was trying to get every school part of it.
And the big thing getting his mom on board.
Oh yes, getting my mom on board took a couple of months. Even by the 3 months before the event, she still said, should we just not do this? She really wanted it off. She's like, hey, can we not do this? Here's so this was the Run for Water team. Here's someone from the Western Institute of Deaf and Hard of Hearing. And Landon, I don't know if anyone got to know Landon.
Remember Landon?
He's come through our school district too, the Hard of Hearing student.
Yeah, so try and keep in touch.
Yeah. Here's some awesome pictures of the event.
Mrs. Saddle's daughter's in the middle there.
We tried to do what was really cool. We tried to do something that really spoke about each charity. So we had like the Run for Water have a booth. John Davidson, we did different things during the event. And then for Western Institution, we had a booth, but we also had someone interpreting to kind of give the whole audience like, wow, it's kind of gives them a sense of what it's like. And, here's some of the performers. Caitlin Canning, Richard, David Klein, Jordan Haley, and the Authorities, who rocked out Don't Stop Believin', which everyone was up for. That was pretty awesome. We ended up raising $9,000 and had roughly 400 people at the event, which was awesome. Big success. The big part for me, like before I even ran the event, when everyone asked what's your goal, money wasn't even a goal. It was more about how many people we get, and it was more about putting the community together and giving them a great night. So that was awesome.
Oops.
So for getting involved, there's a lot of different things to get involved. I've been involved through volunteering at camps, working at camps, scorekeeping, doing many different organizations like Run for Water, Web Club, Web Crew in grade 8, athletic councils, leadership, more athletic councils, intramural leadership, which got me very, very busy. There was times where I was basically, my day was like jam booked. I recommend doing a little less on the scheduling. Have a good schedule, find a couple things that you love to do. which I try to do more in grade 12. But one thing, a couple big things I think are awesome is one is this camp. So this camp, when I first went, I was thinking leadership. I've already been to a couple conferences, but then I went to it and realized it's more of a camp where you realize who you are as a person and your inner leadership abilities and less about your outer leadership abilities. So at this camp, you learn a lot about yourself and who you really are compared to just who you think other people see you as. So here's just a quick video about it.
Judgment, it's a second home, and it's just a place to be you.
They show you how to bring out the leader in yourself, and you develop a lot of skills, you meet a lot of great people. Hopefully I can go and spread this attitude to everyone I meet.
What we experience here is something that everyone kind of wishes the world was. You know what I mean? Which is loving, accepting. And it's so stimulating. If I was at home, I'd be watching TV, I'd be on the computer, I'd be hanging out the wall. But here, you have none of that. You're really in nature. And all you're doing for fun is talking to people that you've never met before. And you're having some of the most in-depth and real conversations.
It's a must. It's a must. You have to go to Copenhagen at least once in your life. I've definitely grown as a person. When you're especially in high school, you're just surrounded by judgment. Count me in, Summit. It's incredible. It's refreshing. You can just open and talk, and there's no judgment. For me, it's basically a life-changing experience to meet different people of different cultures, different backgrounds, and basically learning how to become an effective leader, how to communicate, how to understand. I'm a leader at my own college, but to me, I didn't feel like I was confident enough, so I came here to find that inner confidence, that little spark that needs to be there so I can be better.
Before coming in Summit, I was nervous and shy, and after coming in Summit, I'm outgoing and open.
Count me in, Summit is.
Count me in Summit is like G2.
So it's a great camp, something I recommend. Email me if you have any questions about it. I'll send out links, advice. I'll even talk to the founder of it, Shane Feldman. If you have any interest, it's a great camp. But also, it kind of reminds me of another organization like We. We is an awesome organization. It's all about getting younger generation, like our generation, to make change. There's We Days. To get to We Day, you have to do community and overseas fundraising, and it's all about getting involved. And the We Days are a great way to kind of get inspired. That's where you really get inspired. So I would definitely recommend getting involved with We Day. And as much anything as possible, just keep getting involved, have a lot of fun. Try not to stress more on one thing, but see like an open agenda to many different things. And something else I really wanted to say, but oh yes. Next year, anyone who's interested, I'm planning on having Rock Navi Strong 2, April 26th or 27th.
Oh, you have a date already. Wow, excellent.
And we are very excited. We're just starting planning now. So I'll definitely be emailing a lot about that, which will be awesome. And then I'll send out, anyone who wants my number, just call me whenever you need anything. And keep going strong. And whatever you do in the future, I want to hear about it. So remember, this is my story, but what's your story?
Excellent. And what I like, can you tell them a little bit about how to follow you on Instagram?
Oh, yes.
And we'll send that with the link too.
Ooh, okay. So, I'll send like a thing with my Instagram and Facebook, so you can message me at any point. But my Instagram is, if you want to write down right now, it's a.schweinbenz. And Facebook, just look up my name, and then you can message me at any point and tell me if you want any help with anything, advice, if you have ideas that you just want to rant about. I'd love to hear them. So awesome. Thank you guys for listening.
Excellent. Okay, so we did say 6 to 7, but as Aiden and I planned this out, we figured it would be, now I'll take the speaker thing. Thing with hard of hearing folks too, we want to make sure there's some good volume with the YouTube. So we really appreciate you guys all coming out, and I said to Brian, I didn't realize he's come all the way from Chilliwack to come and meet with some of you guys too, and kind of just see how we kind of function here in Abbotsford, and we're hoping we can get some more live feeds going around the province so we can kind of take advantage. What's nice about this is it saves to YouTube. So in the future, I expect to be watching this YouTube channel and seeing something about you, Asleen. Maybe one day you'll be up here kind of chatting. Liam, same thing. That's the expectation, and I think, Aiden, thank you for just kind of really kind of putting it out there, putting it into your minds that this is what you can do, it is a little more, you can see back in your grade 5, you've always been a little more outgoing in that sense, but don't be shy, just kind of charge on. So thank you those that were joining us for the live feed. I did put to the email to the people on the live feed, if anybody had any questions, they would text me. I didn't notice any texts. Sometimes it's hard, like Aiden, you may not have a question now, but later on, if you're thinking about it, we'll make sure, as Aiden says, we'll make sure you get that.
No, but, well, actually, yes. Can we put this on the parent support page?
Yeah, well, so it'll be about 30 minutes, is that like a link to the YouTube, do you mean?
Yeah, or anything, everything, like, can you
Yeah.
just, well, you guys are both members of it, like,
Yeah.
anything that we can put on there.
Yeah, and to share, and that's the.
Give you a lot of information.
Yeah, so we'll pass on the grade scholarship papers. As what Aiden was saying, you don't want to start, if you're in grade 7, that's a little bit young, but not, start to get involved with the school clubs and the sports teams. Yes, Harshan? Well, hey, I'm already talking next year, you're grade 7, right? So good. So thanks for everybody that joined. I'm going to hit the live feed and turn that off if you want to, as you walk, and say goodbye to them as they go.
Just like another thing, like keep being you. Allow yourself to have a great rest of your time, and whatever comes up, it's going to be a great time. And it's all about, I think another thing I meant to say is a leader isn't just who he is, it's also about how we can bring out the best in other people. So don't just think, I'm a leader because I can do this all by myself. It's more about how can you do that, but then inspire others, who can then inspire others, and then get everyone involved. That's a big part. Keep being you.
Excellent.